guys, welcome back. Today I'm here to deliver you some Halo Infinite Hopium. So the other day when the co-op campaign flight came out, it appears as though 343 have accidentally included a massive new and updated build of Forge, and of course people have been getting into it and playing it and making stuff with it. Now some of the things that they've been making with Infinite's Forge is frankly mind-blowing, so today I thought I'd show some of it off. I gotta say though, I'm convinced that 343 are putting these builds of Forge accidentally into these flights so they can use it as like a pseudo marketing tool, because I feel like they know how good Forge is, and they know that once people find it and start making stuff with it, them showing off their creations is going to be a better kind of marketing than anything official, because it feels more natural, and to be honest, I don't blame them. Now, as sick as the Forge creations are that I'm going to show you today, I just want you to remember one thing, right? So these are the things being made before Forge is even out. Forge, hell, it's not even been flighted yet, right? And people are making stuff this good. Think about what they're going to be making in a few years' time. I mean, you compare what people were making in Halo 5 Forge, for example, when it first came out, compared to what they make nowadays, and the difference is utterly insane. Like I said, the fact that people are making stuff this good right now is crazy, but in a few years' time, I've got a feeling we're going to start seeing some, like, playing Doom in Doom level creations with Forge. So, of course, full credit for all of these Forge experiences goes to their original creators. Their names will be on screen at the same time as their Forge creations, but of course their links will all be in the description as well. I highly urge you to go and check them all out, because they're uploading stuff constantly. I guarantee that by the time I get this video out, all of them will have posted new stuff on their channels, so make sure you go and check the videos out and also sub to them, and then also make sure you check out the Halo Leaks Forge channel in their Discord for all the latest creations and findings as well. And with that said, let's jump into Halo Infinite's Forge. So first off, I actually want to show something that is potentially official off. Now, this has been leaked, so obviously take it with a grain of salt, but people found this community file share page in the new build of Forge, and to be honest, it looks like exactly what Forge needed. An easy way for people to access and download popular maps and modes, along with popular prefabs as well, which is going to be really useful for Forgers, and even a recommended section that I assume is going to act a little bit like Bungie favourites used to back in the day. This is the kind of robust file sharing system that Infinite needed. Granted, the only thing missing here is a custom game browser, but seeing all of this here makes me really happy. Like I said before in videos, it honestly doesn't matter how good Forge is if the process of sharing and downloading maps isn't good. But by the looks of it, that won't be a limiting factor. So, first of all the creations, here's something to get you really hyped for Forge. SickGen has created this, dare I say, sick Halo Infinite Forge trailer that shows off just a few of the things possible with this incredible tool. From map alterations, to custom vehicles, weapon blending, vehicle welding, and so much more. Watching this honestly got me so hyped. It has great production quality, and you can tell that it's been really well made. This is the kind of thing that 343 need to be making to get mainstream fans excited for Forge, so make sure you go and check the full video out. Next up, Elite Falcon has been creating some insanely cool experiences in Forge that just go to show how drastically you can alter an existing map's atmosphere and/or create an entirely new atmosphere using Forge's new tools. Falcon's shown off the effects that you can spawn, the large swath of sound effects you can spawn, along with their properties, and map volumetrics that you can modify that allow you to do this, and as you're about to see, you can pull off some insane stuff with these features. Using them, he's created some absolutely insane experiences. Firstly, an extreme thunderstorm with rain and lightning in a rainforest, with a gloomy sky to boot. This looks and sounds so good. The atmosphere, like with many of these experiences, is absolutely top-notch. Then, a containment breach experience in a foreigner facility, with sparks flying, burning destroyed sentinels, and an ominous red door in the fog beyond the litany of dead bodies on the floor. A forest in the middle of a flood outbreak, complete with creepy sound effects and that iconic flood fog that we all know and love. An abandoned UNSC camp in a very 343 Guilty Spark inspired flood forest, with broken technology, light rain, just like in that iconic swamp, and an ominous, dark, thick fog. Then, something a little bit different, a mysterious cave with purple energy distorting the dead bodies of Marines. This really looks like something that you'd see in the lightning section of the crazy place in Origins. The fact that this is done in Forge is very cool. Back to horror, we have a horror scene in a UNSC/human facility, and also, as an extension of that, a Dead Space-inspired environment on Aquarius, littered with dead bodies of Marines and brutes, with some of them even impaled on spikes. Very Dead Space. It's cool seeing Aquarius being transformed so much. A Doom-inspired base that nails both the colours and also the atmosphere of a destroyed UAC facility. 2 recreations of the Upside Down from Stranger Things, both of which nail its colour palette with the harsh reds and blues and even have that red lightning as well. One of the maps looks to take place in the town of Hawkins, with vines consuming the buildings, and then the other one takes place in one of its forests, where the dark and gloomy sky looks even more imposing. Then, a recreation of Mustafar, complete with lava, embers, and even some high ground. An interpretation of a burning behemoth, meant to replicate an Earth on Fire kinda look. And finally, Craig going Super Saiyan. Need I say any more? As you can see, the atmospheres that you can create and modify with Infinite's Forge are mind-blowing. Okay, I'm just adding this in while editing. Falcon saw that I was making a video on some of his maps, and actually went back into Forge and remade the spawn room of Nagda and Toten just for me. What an absolute legend. This looks so sick, man. I can't wait to be playing Infinite Infection on maps like this. Please go and drop Falcon a sub right now. He's also made a new Flood map as well, Flood Overgrowth, which is exactly what it sounds like. A flood-infested overgrown forest that's being glassed with a fallen sentinel beside the beam, sparking in the fog. Seriously, go and check Falcon out. I guarantee by the time I get this video out, Falcon will have released like 4 or 5 new Forge map videos, so you don't want to miss him, go and check him out. So, staying on this experience kind of track, Halo Leaks have been posting some creations from their Discord, including this, a really comfy transformation of Livefire into a quaint and peaceful forest. I feel like this one really puts on show just how great Infinite Forge's sound and atmosphere modification is. Like, don't get me wrong, the trees and everything are really nice, but the warm yellow firefly-like glows and the sounds of rain coming through the trees are just so comfy. I can't wait for Halo's own version of those like really calming 10 hours of rainfall in a forest videos, because by the looks of it, that stuff is going to be very possible in Forge. Next up, we have some absolutely wild creations from Cryptum, who's been doing some mad stuff with one of Infinite Forge's new features, node graphs. But first, let's take a look at some of the map remakes that he's worked on. He started on a remake of Blood Gulch, as you can see here, and also a remake of Colosseum from Halo 5, as you can see here. Now, both are obviously very early on in development, but it's just really cool seeing these remakes in Infinite. But, like I said, his node graph work shows the literal infinite potential of Halo Infinite Forge. He's managed to make a literal portal spawner, a dynamic spawnable portal system that teleports not just Spartans, but also grenades as well. I love how he's even gone as far as making the portals blue and orange. Very cool. The fact that this is possible, by the looks of it, by using pings, is just crazy. He's also made a dynamic vehicle shrinking system that does exactly what it sounds like. You can shrink the size of a vehicle while you're still in it, and it's still drivable when shrunken down. I love how the way a Spartan sits in the vehicle actually adapts to the vehicle's size, so as the vehicle shrinks, you can see the Spartan kind of moving in the seas. Very small little detail, but it's cool to see. There are going to be so many crazy custom games made with this feature, I guarantee. It also seems as though you can use these node graphs to make custom equipment as well, and so far, he's made the Acrophobia skull from MCC that allows you to fly around the map going in any direction that you want and also as high up as you want, and also a custom super lunge equipment that launches you really far, really fast in any given direction, essentially acting as like a turbo thruster. And finally, Cryptum stress-tested object physics and tried to really push the physics to the max to see how much they could do. And as you can see, so many individual items can have their physics manipulated at one time. And as he said in the description of the video, with this in mind, Infinite Jenga is going to be absolutely wild. Next up, we have some stuff from Zmods, who's been showing off a range of stuff on his channel, so let's continue on the trend of node graphs and start with what he's made with node graphs. He's used them to turn a wasp into a bomber that drops a 400 explosive crate every few seconds. He's also made a completely working elevator, but I gotta say, his piece de la resistance so far is his scripted airstrike. He's managed to get a Saber to do a strafe run over Behemoth and drop a full payload of explosive crates across the map in its wake, just by pressing 2 buttons. I gotta say, just looking at this node graph screen, I wouldn't even know where to start. This is so far beyond my forging capabilities that I don't even know where to begin, but clearly people are going to use it to make some absolutely wild stuff. However, just like Elite Falcon, Cryptum's also been making some experience-like maps as well. The first of which is a very comfy little forest scene that, honestly, for the most part, just looks completely dev-made. I feel like if you show this to someone who didn't know it was from Forge, they'd kind of just assume that it's an area from the campaign, and I'm actually quite amazed at how unforged-like many of these creations do look. I mean, in the past, even with Halo 5's Forge, for example, it's been quite obvious, even with the best Forge creations, that they are made in Forge, not with official developer tools. But with Infinite, I have a feeling that that line is about to be blurred. He's also made a small snow scene, a horror scene featuring the one and only, and also a strange alien orb scene. Next up, Orange has shown off what's possible with Infinite's terrain modifications, which I believe was a feature in Halo 5, but as you can see here, it's clearly a lot more advanced in Infinite. He's managed to swallow the towers of Behemoth in gigantic, realistic-looking sand dunes. He's also shown off some of the object scaling options as well that you can see here with a massive deck chair, cup and umbrella. And I gotta say, on a very different note, Deadlock with this kind of sunset lighting looks really, really cool. And on that note, T68 has uploaded some really cool videos showing how you can affect a map's time of day in Infinite Forge. For example, turning fragmentation into a nighttime map, or turning streets into a daytime map. Altering time of day doesn't seem like that major of a thing, but to me, it makes the maps feel so fresh, and it makes me look at them in a completely new light. No pun intended. Okay, maybe a little bit of a pun. T68's also uploaded some longer forging time-lapse videos as well that show the actual map-making process in Infinite Forge, so make sure you check them out if you're looking at creating stuff when Forge releases. And finally, we have the beginning of the return of one of my favourite things to ever come from Forge, full stop. Parkour maps. Now, back in Halo 3, I used to spend ages trying to beat these parkour maps, and Oscar B64 has given us our first taste of Infinite's take on Forge parkour maps that utilise the game's gameplay suite really well. They're short and sweet so far, but you can see how things like the repulsor and the various different slide text can and will integrate into these maps, and how satisfying it's going to be to pull them off. With the combination of the equipment and the new node graph system, I can't wait to see some of the puzzle and challenge maps that come out of Infinite like this. There's going to be some insane stuff made. And so, there you go. I mean, Forge isn't even out yet. Hell, it's not even been flighted yet, and people are already making stuff this good. I mean, I think that's a true testament to both the creativity of the Halo community and also just how damn good Infinite's Forge is. Like I said at the start, if stuff like this is being made now, then just think about what we're going to start seeing in a few years' time. Absolutely mind-blowing. Like I said, don't forget to go and check out all of the creators of these Forge experiences. Their links are all down below in the description. I highly recommend you go and check all their channels out. And with that said, let's round this one out here. I want to give a massive thank you to all of my amazing patrons for the continued support over there, as per usual. Thank you so much. And also to everyone else for watching, I really appreciate it. And I'll catch you all in the next one.